trials began during the spring of 1692 in Salem, Massachusetts, after a group of young girls claimed that they were possessed by the devil. They accused some women of bewitching them to that torment, and those women were burned to the stake. We know all of those things because those are the basics of the Salem witch trials. But what if you could go back to the beginning? The beginning of it all. Learn what made these girls accuse such things of innocent people.
Before the Salem witch trials started, many practicing Christians and those of other religions had a strong belief that the devil could give certain people, witches, the power to harm others in return for their loyalty. A witchcraft craze went throughout Europe from the 1300s to the end of the 1600s. Thousands of supposed witches, mostly women, were executed. The Salem trials came on just as the European craze was winding down.
It all started in 1689 when English rulers William III and Mary II started a war with France in the American colonies, known to colonists as King William's War. This war destroyed regions of upstate New York, Nova Scotia, and Quebec, sending refugees into the county of Essex and, specifically, Salem Village in the Massachusetts Bay Colony.
With Salem having so many people, it created a strain on its resources. This aggravated the already existing rivalry between families with ties to the wealth of the port of Salem and those who were still dependent on agriculture. Controversy also brewed over Reverend Samuel Parris, who became Salem Village's first ordained minister in 1689 and wasn't liked because of his harsh ways and greedy nature. The Puritan villagers believed all the quarreling was the work of the devil. Then, in January 1692, Reverend Parris's daughter, Elizabeth, at age 9, and niece Abigail Williams, at age 11, started having fits. They screamed, threw things, uttered peculiar sounds, and contorted themselves into strange positions, and a local doctor blamed the supernatural.
Another girl, Ann Putnam, at age 11, experienced episodes similar to the girls. On February 29th, under the pressure from the magistrates, Jonathan Corwin and John Hathorne, the girls accused 3 women for afflicting them. Tabuta, the Parris' Caribbean slave, Sarah Good, a homeless beggar, and Sarah Osborne, an elderly, poverty-stricken woman. Just these 3 accusations caused the chaos, which was the Salem witch trials.
Prisons were filled to the brim with more than 150 men and women from towns surrounding Salem. Their names had been cried out by young tormented girls as the cause of their pain, all would await trial for a crime punishable by death, the practice of witchcraft.
When someone was accused of being a witch, they would go to a judge trial. There would be 7 judges in all, and they would determine if the person is a witch or not by the person's defense, and if they were, they would be hung. If not, they were free to go home. Some women were free to go home if they told the judges about other women who were doing witchcraft.
During all of the witchcraft craze, 110,000 people were tried for witchcraft, and between 40,000 to 60,000 were executed. It wasn't fair to the people wrongly accused. Most of the people were innocent, but back then, because of their religious background, they thought that they were doing the right thing, getting rid of any signs of the devil.
The trials did not end until May of 1693 after the governor's wife was questioned for witchcraft. Further arrests were prohibited and the people imprisoned were pardoned. The trials were declared unlawful in 1702, and in 1711 the colony passed a bill restoring the rights and good names of those accused and granted £600 restitution to their heirs. However, it was not until 1957, more than 250 years later, that Massachusetts formally apologized for the events of 1692. Most of the girls did not apologize, but one girl did, and that was Ann Putnam. She had accused 62 people of being witches. About 9 years after the Salem witch trials were over, Reverend Green became the minister of Salem, replacing Samuel Parris, who was a leader in the witch trials. Reverend Green kept trying to convince Ann to apologize, but she did not want to for years.
In 1706, which was 13 years after the witch trials, Ann Putnam, at age 27, issued a public apology and became the only one of the afflicted girls to say that accusing people of being witches was wrong. Anne had said it was a great delusion of Satan that deceived me in that sad time, whereby I justly fear that I have been instrumental with others, through ignorantly and unwitting, to bring upon myself in this land the guilt of innocent blood. It was a very big act for her because all of the others went away, got married, and some even changed their names, not caring about what happened in those Salem 13 years before.